you're holding the weight. So I'm holding with my right arm, so my right leg is the one that's gonna go back. The weight's gonna kind of rest, the duffel bag will rest on the floor for a moment, and then I'll bring it right back up. But I'll keep my arms straight the whole entire time. So, just like so. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you want to use more range of motion, I'm going to now show you the left side. So, if you want to use more range of motion, you don't hold these handles. What you do is, you want to hold the side of it like this, get a nice tight grip on it. So now, my hands are actually closer to the duffel bag, okay? So that's gonna give me an extra few inches to get to the ground. So that's now gonna work my hamstrings more, my glutes, my lower back. It's gonna allow those muscles to stretch a little bit more. And that's what you need most of the time. Use the range of motion, make sure you're feeling the muscles moving, and activate it. So, remember, the same side is the one that you kick back on. So, my left leg now. 1, 2, 3. Good. Perfect. So all those little inches make a big difference, okay? Remember, take your time. If you feel like you're off balance, slow it down. Ain't no need to go fast, okay? Next, bent over rows, all right? So what I'm gonna do is hold it just like this. I'm gonna give you a side view so you're aware of how your back should look. So before you even go down, make sure you roll the shoulders back, all right? Keep the shoulders pinched back a little bit, all right? Keep the back straight, keep your core tight as you're doing this movement, okay? So what you're gonna do is pull up until the duffel bag touches your belly button, okay? So from the side, it looks just like this. You lean over, bend at the hips first. So just like this, keep a nice straight back, everything's tight before you begin the movement. And then you start pulling. So I'm gonna demonstrate 5, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. That's one of my favorite movements as well. It works out a lot of different muscle groups, okay? So while I'm showing you these exercises, try to think about the muscles that work together for each category that we're going with. Well, like as you see, I'm transitioning a certain way. I'm kind of combining the leg movements and the back movements together. So when you see that one thing connects with another thing, that's when you start, deciding which ones you want to go with. You know, you want to choose just 4 or 5 of these and then begin that, okay? Next one, the single arm shouldering from the ground. Single arm shouldering from the ground, okay? So with this one, it starts in between your legs. And the goal here is to get it from the ground to your shoulders. And you're gonna alternate each one, okay? So you'll stand like this, get in a very ready position, all right? Keep your knees soft. You're gonna grab the duffel bag, just like so, and then you're gonna begin. So what we're gonna do is each pair is gonna be count as one. Each pair counts as 1 rep, okay? So once you do both shoulders, that's 1 rep and so on. So imagine if you're doing this for like 5 or 10 reps. That becomes taxing on the body, but great workout, all right? It works different muscle groups as well. When you're coming up from the ground, one thing you want to remember is you want to be explosive with this one, all right? So don't keep the same speed from the beginning to the end. I like to kind of speed up as I'm bringing it up to the shoulders. So I'm here and I bring it up. 1, just like that. All right, good. So there you go. Single arm shouldering, all right? Next, the rotational forward lunge. Rotational forward lunge. So just like you remember, we did a rotational deadlift. That was coming from one side to another. We're gonna be doing rotational forward lunge. So that means you're gonna be doing one leg then another, all right? So duffel bag is actually gonna be on that outside leg that's stepping forward, all right? And I'm kind of gonna do a rowing motion with it. That way I can bring more muscle groups into it. So I hold the weight just like this on the outside leg first, I'm now gonna step with my left foot forward first. So I'm here, hold it like this, and then I step forward my left, and I do that kind of motion. Just like that. 2. And 3, good. Just like that. Believe me, looks easy, it is not. Try it out, do about 10 reps. I guarantee you're gonna be feeling different muscle groups working at the same time. Those are the best kind of workouts, not isolation workouts. When you're doing these movements and different muscle groups are working together, that's when you get the best bang for your buck, all right? Next, figure eights. Now, this movement is gonna be a little bit more difficult because of the bulk of this bag, but it's still one of my favorites, all right? Because it does also work multiple muscle groups. What I'm pretty much doing is I'm putting a duffel bag through my legs, I'm coming up, and I'm switching just like that. Now, the bulk of the bag and how heavy it is gonna dictate how well this goes for me, all right? But I take my time with this one. This one's not about speed. This one's just about using the correct motion, making sure you're feeling the right muscle groups working. The slower you go, in most cases, the more you'll start to learn what muscle groups are doing what, right? As you see, let's say I'm going like this, right? Once I start turning my weight like this, we know that this part of my body turns on, right? And then when I come up, this muscle, my traps, will kind of hold it for a second. And then I switch arms, and then I go back down. Once I'm going down, you know my quads are firing, right? Quads, glutes, hamstrings, and this side, right? The obliques on that side and everything else. So I put it through just like that. So I'm gonna show you guys a pair of 2, okay? Remember, with this one as well, each pair is 1. I'm gonna do 2 reps total, all right? So just like this. So these are figure eights. Put it through, stand up. That's 1. And that's 2. Good. There you go. Figure eights, okay? It's obviously easier if you grab the handle, but you decide which one you want to do. If that grabbing the handle seems too easy, then you actually want to grab the body of the bag itself, all right? So next, good mornings. Good mornings are done on the shoulders, right? So this is another back exercise. It works your posterior chain. So everything pretty much from your traps, which is behind the base of your neck, all the way down to about the glutes, hamstring region, right? Posterior chain, all those muscles put together. The good morning, the duffel bag will go on the back of your shoulders, and then you'll lean forward, right? You'll crease at the hips first, just like that. Once you do this, even just without weight, once you do this movement right here, you're gonna feel all those back muscles turn on, right? One thing that's important with this one is don't go too low, especially if you have back problems already, right? Focus on just feeling the movement. Don't go to where the pain is, right? So pick it up, place it on the back, and then I'm gonna show you from the side so you see exactly what my form looks like. As I'm standing here, I'm actually keeping my core sucked in and tight, and before I do any kind of movements, I'm actually taking a breath in, all right? And my hips are going back first. So keep the knees soft, but not exactly bent like this, all right? So knees soft. If you bend at the hips first, that's gonna be the right way to do it. So just like this. I'm gonna do about 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so there you go. There you have it, the good morning. Last but not least, number 15. You know this one, classic, legendary bicep curl, all right? This is one of the most basic movements you could do. It's an isolation movement, but the difference with this one is we're actually gonna combine the bicep curl with a calf raise to failure. Now, I'm not gonna do it to failure, but I'm just telling you that if you add this in your workout and you do it to failure, you're gonna feel exactly how legit this kind of routine is, right? Because imagine this. You choose 3 exercises, and your last one is a bicep curl, right? So imagine all those exercises that I've already discussed with you today. And then your last one is the bicep curl, right? But you know you're supersetting, which is when you do an exercise back to back with something else. You're supersetting the bicep curl with a calf raise to failure. So to failure means until you can't do anymore, right? So I'm not talking about 20 or 30 reps. For some of you, it may be that, right? It may be that initially. But for most of you, the majority of you, I'm looking at like 50 or more, right? To failure means until you can't do anymore. It doesn't mean when it starts burning, you stop, right? No. It means until you can barely move the legs anymore, right? The calves, the flexion, up and down. So you pair it with the bicep curl. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna demonstrate what that looks like. I'm gonna do 5 and 5. So bicep curl, you hold it to the sides, just like that from the bottom, and you curl it. Boom, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now after 5, I'm gonna show you from the side, like this. You hold it here. So imagine that you did like 20 reps on the bicep curls. Now you got the calf raises to failure. So just holding it like this, your arms are gonna be burning the whole entire time too. So that's gonna be like a test of willpower, if you will. So I'm just gonna demonstrate 5 what that looks like. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. So remember, that one's gonna be done to failure. So try to put that as one of the last exercises.